Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. We're headed to Skiatook to the Healing Rock. And a little bit later on, we've got some listener feedback, and we're going to talk electric cars. I'm Brent.
And I am Harley.
So we've been to Skiatook.
We have.
You know, a lot of times we talk about, it's been a while. It has been a while.
It really has been a while. So in our previous incarnation,
yes,
before we were reborn into the OnlyinOKShow.
Yes, before the big rebirth, where we were saved by the light of tourism.
We did make a trip to Skiatook, and we talked about a witch's grave, and there's a video on the internet.
There is.
And it's a really good video.
It's a really, really good video. And I'm telling you right now, there are things that happen to us in, around, and after Skiatook. But I think more importantly, Skiatook's a really interesting place. There's a lot. I don't think a lot of people think about Skiatook, Oklahoma, because it's on the way to Tulsa. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not exactly right off the strip. But we spent some quality time in Skiatook, Oklahoma. Really great place to visit. Again, and I think when it gets the chill gets a little bit chillier, not just a 22 degree, cold snap that drops the temperature to 90. We'll talk more about the Skiatook trip we took, but today it's all about the Healing Rock.
Yeah, so there is a rock called the Healing Rock.
The Rock.
In Skiatook, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It's a natural monument.
It is.
It's a natural monument regarded as a healing site by Native Americans, and it's easily accessible through a very short hike.
Right. One thing we didn't get to while we were there is Skiatook Lake. Now, Skiatook Lake's about 20 miles northwest of Tulsa, Osage County. There's about 160 miles of shoreline on this lake.
Thousands of acres of natural terrain around the lake. It's gorgeous.
It's a hiker's paradise, really.
Did you just make that up?
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Of course I did. A hiker's paradise. If you're into I don't know how they rank hiking like extreme to just a walk in the park. I think this is probably in between your walk in the park and maybe not quite to your extreme, but a lot of just relatively regular terrain, but nice hiking areas around there.
Absolutely. And on one of these hikes, a very short hike, I think it's only an eighth of a mile, but to find the Healing Rock, you head to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers at the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers location on the lake, and behind the building is a trail that leads to a very mystical rock.
Now, once you get there, though, you'll have a little signage, I think, and it's probably cool. I mean, I know it's cool. I've seen it. Signage kind of gives you a little bit of the history, a little bit of the story behind the rock.
Right, and the trail's clearly marked. It's easy to navigate. It's a gravel trail. But the sign, I think it's one of the things. So when we were talking about the world's largest hill.
Right, we do that a lot. We talk about that was also a lot of things we talked about previously. The world's largest ball of twines. But yeah.
No, I was calling out specifically.
Oh, yeah.
When we were talking about the world's largest hill, one of the things that we said that you need to do is to read the sign at the base of the hill.
Right.
I think that's another one of these things. The story behind the Healing Rock's there. I think it's a perfect opportunity for a photo op. And then obviously you're going to have another one when you actually get to the rock.
Yes. Aside from the fact it's 12 feet high, 17 foot at the base, and 14 to 16 inches thick, what's so special about this Healing Rock?
So there are a couple of things about this rock that are different.
Okay.
First of all, dude, it looks like an airplane wing or a shark fin. It's perfectly symmetrical. It looks like it was placed there on purpose.
Okay, you remember last year was really popular, the monoliths that just popped up?
Right.
It looks like it could be like the great-grandfather of the monolith. It just, not necessarily in shape, but it just has this, doesn't quite fit there. It just has a mystical...
It does. It looks out of place.
Yeah.
So it was considered a healing site by the Osage and Quapaw Indians in the late 19th century. According to legend, anyone who didn't feel right didn't feel good.
Right.
You could lean on the rock, and it would imbue its healing powers.
Now, if you look at the rock,
Yes.
from a naked eye, no research done whatsoever, it looks man-made. Does it not? It's almost too symmetrical.
It is. It's a perfect triangle, or almost a perfect triangle. But apparently, this was something that was actually researched.
Mm-hmm.
Archaeologists actually looked into it, and that shape was carved naturally by erosion.
Really?
Yeah.
So, where you see it now isn't where it was originally. I think, weren't they making the lake? The lake is man-made.
The lake is man-made,
Right.
the rock is not
Right.
man-made. So when the plans to build Skiatook Lake were finalized, it became abundantly obvious that this rock was going to be underwater. And although there's some cool things that are underwater, I don't think this is one of those things that you want to be underwater. So they moved it to where it is after the locals kind of campaigned to have it done. In 1985, they moved it to where it is now, saved it from the water. I think it's a really cool legend. I would love to have more details about the healing properties and what specifically it was related to. Like, was it just in general, or
what led you to believe that it had healing properties? It's similar to, again, there's a lot of throughout this region locales that have a healing property. What leads you to? I just would love to know what led you to the point where you believe so heavily in that, and it stuck.
It did. It stuck for a long time.
Right.
And I still think that occasionally people go out there for that reason. Like I said, though, I wonder exactly what it's related to.
Right. I think when you believe,
I got a trick knee.
Yeah, you could probably. What would you do? You have to put your knee. Would you?
I think you just lean on it.
I didn't know if you'd try to wrap your leg around the
According to legend, you just lean on it.
Okay. Well, it's not that far. I mean, we've been there before, so sounds like a trip back to me.
I think it looks like a lot of fun, and it's definitely something that we're going to have to do a video on to add to the weird Skiatook videos that we do.
Yeah,
apparently.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing we do is weird videos in Skiatook. Why not?
If you're in the area and you've got an ailment, you want to give it a whirl, the Healing Rock right there at Skiatook Lake, I definitely recommend it.
Well, coming up, we've got more listener feedback, and we're going to talk some electric cars.
So there are events happening all over the state.
It's crazy because I was talking about it earlier today, and I'm like, there are actually things happening. You're seeing banners up. You're seeing ads up. You're hearing about the buzz now.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that I love to see are the event t-shirts.
Oh, yeah, I love an event t-shirt.
And I think that we need some new ones. And I think if you're running an event this summer, you need to reach out to the guys over at Master Threads to get you some fresh new tees.
Fresh threads.
Fresh designs for the breakout 2021 event in your area.
Right, and they're local.
They are local.
You're local. Buy local. Quit buying from the West Coast.
Yeah, we don't approve.
We don't approve.
So call for a free quote. Their number's 405-673-3787.
Or find them on the web at masterthreads.us. Every time I think of electric cars, I think we were promised these in 1997.
Every time I think of electric cars, I think we were promised a Tesla plant.
We were promised a hoverboard. But yes, we were promised a Tesla plant, and we lost out to what? Austin?
Yes.
So
according to the Tulsa World,
yeah,
reporter Rhett Morgan said an electric car maker has plans for a mega factory near Tulsa with 2,000 jobs for Oklahomans.
But here's my question to that, and you don't have the answer. It's more of a rhetorical question. If I'm Tesla, am I thinking shots fired? No?
I don't know. I feel like we just need to ignore Tesla.
Okay. Pretend they don't exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they treated us like we don't exist.
Yeah, I'll find my own way to the moon or Mars. Thanks.
So according to the story, though, in the Tulsa World,
yeah, I feel like you're gonna go. I'm Ron Burgundy.
According to the article in the Tulsa World, though, Governor Stitt had said that the consolation prize for us losing the Tesla plant was going to yield dividends, that we were going to see value for the state because we were in the running for the Tesla plant, and I think it did.
Who is this company? It's like, who is your daddy? Who does he work for? I don't know anything about this company, though.
Yeah, the car manufacturer is called Canoo.
Okay.
And they announced plans for a $400 million plant.
Wow.
And it's going to create approximately 2,000 jobs in the Mid-America Industrial Park.
Well, OKC, you got a scissor tail park. Tulsa, you guys got an electric car manufacturer. You win. I mean, honestly, kudos to Tulsa, honestly.
They've been making some major strides. I like a lot of things that are happening in Tulsa, but it's really hard to say the difference between Tulsa and Oklahoma City, and I'm not sure that it's a comparison that we need to.
Well, it's not a dig, but I'm just Well, it's not a dig. I'm just saying, Tulsa, you got one.
No, I agree. I feel like they're making some serious strides.
Yeah.
So Canoo, this Los Angeles based company, is building one of their mega micro factories, and it's going to sit on 400 acres.
Wait a second.
Yes.
A mega micro factory.
I don't know why. It's in quotes. I didn't write the story.
Mega micro factory. I feel like you say it in two different distinct tones. Mega micro. Like,
hey guys, it's me and my big robot buddy Mega.
Show me what I want to see a mega micro factory.
I'm unsure, but it is targeted for a 2023 completion.
Cool.
The chairman and CEO, Tony Aquila.
Aquila? I'm going to say Aquila.
It's
A-Q-U?
A-Q-U-I-L-A.
It could be Akia. Akia. But he's not making a Kia. He's making a robot car.
Okay. So the chairman and CEO of Canoo said, you have the right mix. You have to have a company that wants this kind of area. You have to have an entrepreneurial spirit to take a little bit of a chance outside of the big metro. The stars happen to line up, and it doesn't happen very often. This is a big deal.
Here's the kind of going back, and this is going to be, I hope this doesn't make me sound idiotic, but Tulsa, I'll tell you why Tulsa works. It's close to the tri-state area. You know what I mean? It's right there. It's at the hub. I can see why. But Tulsa's always been a boom town. They've always been a city of industry. Nothing against Oklahoma City, but Oklahoma City's been on the comeback trail probably for a decade, 25 years probably, where we're starting to kind of rebuild and revamp and do some. I'm not saying we're not built for it here, but I think that Tulsa's kind of always been there. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. Okay, so here's the analogy I'm going to try.
Okay.
And we'll see if this works.
Sure.
I feel like Tulsa is an Apple location and Oklahoma City is a Samsung Galaxy location.
I think so.
I think they just have different aesthetics and kind of different.
Tulsa, I think, is a Midwest Austin a little bit, maybe. You think?
I feel like that's a dig against Tulsa.
I don't think so. I also feel like if we say that Tulsa's an Apple city and Oklahoma City is an Android, we're still kind of taking a dig. But anyway, congrats to Tulsa. More importantly, here's the thing. That's 2,000 jobs that are generated here in Oklahoma.
I agree, but there's more to the story.
Okay,
so the factory has the facility there to do the paint, the body shop, the assembly, all of that. But their campus is also going to include a vocational training center.
Oh,
so
that's
they're going to
cool.
be training people to do the work and not necessarily only that work. So that training translates to other industries as well.
If I'm guessing, and I think we need to keep our finger on this story as it moves along into, what is it, 2023 is when we're looking at.
They're breaking ground this year, but they plan on it being done in 2023.
Okmulgee Tech, which is OSU Tech now, I think. We've got connections up in Okmulgee. We've got a lot of connections up in Osage County. They are a big vocation. They're like a vocational university, basically. They do a lot of they do a lot of training for Boeing. So it makes perfect sense. I'm going to venture to I'm rolling the dice here. I think they're going to probably, I would say, train their people at OSU Tech. It's not that far away. They've got the facilities.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's a sprawling campus. I toured it many years ago.
Canoe's investment in Oklahoma is like $400 million.
That's a lot.
It's a big deal.
That's a huge chunk of change for something you wouldn't think about. And I'm not saying I never would have a million years thought that we'd ever get something like that here, but that's a huge raise, I think, in your infrastructure, because you're bringing 2,000 jobs, you're bringing people from all over. It just bolsters your whole mindset, I think.
I like the mission statement of Canoe as well. Yeah. Their mission is to bring affordable, purpose-built electric vehicles to everyone. I like it.
There is a lot of Canoe is one I've never heard of, but Ford recently, I think they're starting to catch on with the electric. They're releasing a electric Mustang, I think in 2022. Bringing back a Ford Lightning that's purely electric.
The Ford Lightning is cool as shit.
I think it's cool. I don't think it's as cool as the original, but
no, the electric vehicle Ford Lightning is a cool piece of. You can run your house for 3 days off of your truck.
So I was behind my job 2 days ago, and there's a Ford F-150. I think it's already happening. A Ford F-150 pulled by, and it was like, I was like, that's electric.
Mm-hmm.
So it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think... I want to see what affordable is, because when you think Tesla, I think a lot of people think of the Tesla budget for electric vehicles, and, of course, the hybrid movement that happened, mid-2000s.
Yeah.
We think of it as being a $40,000, $50,000 investment. I just want to see what affordable is.
I don't know. I think originally the Nissan Leaf, the electric vehicle from Nissan, was supposed to start at $9,000.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty damn affordable.
That's pretty affordable. So we'll see. I think we're all going to learn more about electric vehicles in the next decade for sure, or sooner. Well, that's enough feedback for us about electric vehicles. It's nice to hear some good things about us. We're not getting a $400 million bonus, but we are making waves. Not waves. We're not making waves.
We do have some feedback from our show on the Lake Jed Johnson Trail.
Yeah.
A user on YouTube going by the name Experience.
Okay.
Left us a nice little comment. They said, I like some hiking and like pollution-free areas. Now, I don't know how to take this exactly. They said they can't detect much accents with us.
Yeah.
Their sister moved to Oklahoma and went to college and got married and adapted and had a more profound accent than us.
Right.
She's from Minnesota. Experience said that she's still stuck. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. Experience says they're still stuck in Minnesota, but that we gave them some inspiration.
Right.
And best of luck with our show and getting people motivated on this blue pale dot.
Let's talk accents for just a minute. Now, I've tinkered around with doing accents because I've done voice work for a little while, but I know at my natural voice doesn't really sound like this. I have a microphone voice, and I have an at-home voice.
I don't think I have a different voice.
You don't?
I feel like my voice is the same all the time.
Yeah, I don't know why. I try not to do it, and then I do it. I radio up things. But the point is, I
know you radio up things. I'm asking you though. Do I radio up things, or do I talk the same?
You project your voice a little bit more when you're on the microphone.
But do I change it? Do I alter it? It's different than
no. You don't.
Do I have an accent?
No, you don't.
Maybe we need to work on that.
Do you want one?
I don't know. We're an Oklahoma podcast. I should sound like I'm from Oklahoma.
Yeah, but if somebody saw you, they wouldn't think you're from Oklahoma. They'd think you're from back east.
Dude, if somebody saw me, they would know for a fact that I'm from Oklahoma or that I love it.
Because you're a t-shirt?
Because I'm wearing a t-shirt that says Oklahoma. I've got a hat that says Oklahoma.
But it could look like you're trying to assimilate, too.
It could, or that I've got a kid that's going to a college in Oklahoma or something. Yeah, I can see that.
But I've been told, we've had the luck of having friends from all over. I mean, each coast, north, south, east, west, across the pond.
Oh, I thought you mispronounced East Coast for a minute.
You said
Coast.
East Coast.
Okay.
East Coast. I've had friends from East Coast tell me they can detect an accent, and I've tried really hard. Part of the reason why I radio up is because my voice is kind of lazy when I'm not on it, and depending on who I talk to, like if I meet a customer that's from Elk City, Hey, you doing all right today? How you doing? You know what I mean? I'll put a little Oklahoma.
Do
How
you?
are you? Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I do a good morning. Morning. How you doing? Y'all doing all right today? All right, bud. And if I'll meet somebody that's maybe a little younger, I'm like, saw dude. You know what I mean? So, I'm enough TikTok and rock and roll, man, that I can fit in. But maybe I think it causes a little bit of an identity. Like I may have a little bit of a personality disorder because of
No,
it.
you definitely do, and I don't think it has anything to do with you changing your voice to fit in with your customers.
Like, how you doing? Like, stop talking like that. Sorry. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, keep sending the feedback. We'd love to hear from you. We like to know what we're doing. We like to know that we're inspiring.
I would really like to know, do I have an accent?
Yeah.
Like, from an independent third party,
Yeah.
I want to know if I have an Oklahoma accent. I know I haven't been here my entire life,
Right.
but I have been here long enough to develop an accent.
I don't know for sure, but you hear about people that transplant to Europe or transplant to New York, and then they may be Midwestern in origin, and then they kind of pick up.
Yeah, but some of that's BS.
You think it's
especially with like celebrities.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Madonna spent 17 seconds in the UK, and all of a sudden she's speaking like she's
The Queen's English.
right.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. I don't even notice.
But here's the thing I will
I don't
say.
even know how that happened.
This is what I will say about accents. I'm bad about it. I'm watching Peaky Blinders. I can't help myself. I'm like, oi, what's going on? I talk like that when I get mad, I get Brooklyn. And I don't do it, and I do it by myself. And I'm like, why am I not recording myself do this? But somebody pulls them out in front of me, like, hey, come on, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm like, freaking I mean, so accents, it's hard to say if I have an accent because I have so many. You know what I mean?
I think it's just the voices.
It's the voices. Yeah. It's the voices.
For sure, let us know how we're doing. Let us know if we have accents.
And let us know which one of us sounds like Owen Wilson.
For real, this is a 10-year, not 10-year. This is a 5-year question for us. One of us is supposed to sound like Owen Wilson, and I don't know who.
You're Derek Zoolander, man. But anyway, this has been the OnlyinOKShow. New episodes every week. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley, and we're out of here.
Peace. Sounds better now. Yeah.
How now, brown cow?
I got a couple shirts. I'm ready to retire.
Sweet.
For the wall. The wall.
I need a whole bunch over here
Yeah.
so I can move this over that door.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I think that would, we could almost present this room with like 5 more of these
Yeah.
strategically placed, and that covering up that wall.
Mm-hmm. I got an OU shirt. I'm ready to retire. Can we use that?
Yeah,
I mean,
for
it's
sure.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah.
I got it. So I have a quandary.
A quandary.
I was listening to
Rogan?
No, Bachman Turner Overdrive.
BTO.
Let It Ride.
Yeah.
It's that song jams, dude. And I was thinking to myself, what is the next phase? Okay, so 90s has become the new, I don't want to say it, classic rock, grunt, you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
the 90s music is kind of becoming classic. 80s, what's the next, like I'm thinking of what is the rotation for music to kind of become classic rock? How do you become classic rock? Are we still listening to Bachman Turner Overdrive in 20 years? Probably.
Who? I mean, I would love to say yes.
But what's the last bastion in classic rock? I just don't think you can even, when I think of music even stuff that we grew up with, that we listened to that was current,
Mm-hmm.
would you dare to even say any of that is classic rock?
Maybe. I mean,
What's the qualification?
I'm going to say Nirvana checks that box.
I don't know, though.
I think they do.
How?
I just think they do. They have staying power.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Because I was listening, I don't know what I was watching. Something is about to turn 50. I'm like, God bless it turns 50. And we still, but you don't, that's the thing, you don't think about this album or that album or this band being on the road for 120 years because they're current, they're not current, but they're concurrent with what's going on already. You know what I mean?
They're not
They
current,
don't go
but
away.
they're concurrent with your life.
Right.
Yes.
So it's hard to think, wow.
I have a question before we continue this conversation.
Sure.
Are we
we're good. No,
we're
good.
red or anything? Because
No,
it sounds really loud to me.
No, it sounds loud because of this.
Number 4, can you turn it down a little bit?
Here?
Yes.
Okay.
That's just my headphones.
Okay.
A little bit more.
See, I like it loud in the headphones.
A little bit more. A little bit more.
There you go.
A little bit more.
Hello.
A little bit more. A little bit. Okay, I think that's good.
Really? I
What?
like it to be a little loud.
I can't hear you. Turn that back up, dude. I was
can't.
with you a long time ago. Like right there. That's
Right
good.
there? Is that the sweet spot?
You just basically turned it all the way down.
But I don't know why I struggle with it. I just look at music and go, there's a lot of stuff that I can tolerate, that I enjoy, but will it be around? Will it be as relevant? Because I don't know who's in control of, okay, so Apple, I have Apple Music, and you can go by category, like classic rock, and it'll give you all the classic rock, or give you all, and I'm seeing a lot of people in there, I'm like, I can't really name anything, but you don't belong in there. You're not classic rock. You're not Southern rock. Like, I feel like if you were going to do a Mount Rushmore, there wouldn't be enough room. But when I'm talking like...
You and Mount Rushmore,
I know.
Dude. I swear to God, you try to put everything in terms of Mount Rushmore.
But Rush would be in its own Mount Rushmore.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes.
No.
How
Literally,
many...
Mount Rushmore was the 4 most consequential people involved in the building of the country at the time.
I understand. But, okay, so when you think of consequential people involved with building...
The 4 most important. The 4 most important bands of the last 100 years, you only have 4.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I don't see any bands that are even in a conversation that have been out in the last decade and a half, that even get in the conversation.
I don't know of any bands that have only been around for a decade.
Really?
I can't think of one.
How long has Foo Fighters been around? I think they'll be
late 90s.
Yeah, so they're 20. Yeah, they're over 20. I don't know. It puzzles me. I'm like, I don't know why I think about it. I'm just like, classic rock. What does that mean in 10 years?
Yeah, I don't think it means what you think it means.
I still think there'll be a place for Led Zeppelin on the radio.
Yeah, but I think in 20 years, you're going to be listening, if you're alive and listening to stuff, you're going to be listening to the classic rock channel when Justin Timberlake comes on.
Ooh,
bringing sexy back.
But I don't think...
Dude, look at the music that's played on a classic rock station now that is completely the same shit that Timberlake put out.
So, KOMA, good example. When we were kids, that's where it was oldies. That's where you listened to...
AC/DC and
no,
Creedence Clearwater and... Yes.
But I don't think they played... When we were kids, they didn't play AC/DC. They played like Buddy Holly.
No, I don't remember.
La Bamba.
I don't remember Buddy Holly on KRXO.
I do. No, I'm talking about KOMA.
Oh, KOMA.
92.5.
I was thinking KRXO.
KRXO was always played.
Coma, yeah, I think that was...
So how radio operates, long and short, is with KOMA, they have aged with the people that listened to Buddy Holly on the regular basis
died.
They're dead.
Yes.
The KOMA is designed really now for people our age, to be honest. Mid-40s. It's gross. It is gross.
That's gross.
But they still play...
Stop talking to me.
Well, I know. But they still play like Prince, but they also play stuff from the late 80s, 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Music is just... as long as I can find it, I'm still going to listen to... I'm still going back to...
Well, so we have satellite radio.
Yeah,
the stations go back to the 40s.
Yeah, they do.
And that's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing before that. But really, the station identifiers I think, start at the 50s.
Yeah.
So I think it's the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And anything before that is played on their
50s, Chuck Berry, Elvis Presley. And there wasn't a ton of guys and gals on the radio back then.
right.
It was Richie Valens, Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, the Everly Brothers. There wasn't a ton of, you got the same stuff on the radio. If you could do payola and pay the DJ, they'd play your record. But yeah, satellite radio, that's another one too. I used to think satellite radio killed regular radio, but if you listen to satellite radio long enough, it's a steady.
Oh yeah, it is definitely a rotation.
Yeah, I think Muzak has more variety. They rotate pretty heavy.
And to be completely honest, I don't like any of the DJs.
Yeah, they're kind of
at all. Like who's that one guy? He was he Sublime or something like that? Mark.
Are you talking? No. He was in Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray.
Mark McGrath.
Yes.
Yeah, he gets on my nerves.
I hate that guy.
He gets some. There's a problem. He's a smart guy because some years ago they used to have Rock and Roll Jeopardy on VH1. It came on after school, and him and Dave Mustaine were on there, and they were just trading blows back and forth. They both knew music inside and out, but Mark McGrath
he's smarmy.
He's smarmy, dude. He just gets on my dang nerves, but. Yeah, satellite radio, I don't know. I think advertising is what's killed radio. There's just too much of it. And there are too many ways to listen to music. You know what I mean? People aren't dropping albums like they used to traditionally anymore. Now they're not even making you pay for them. You know what I mean? So I don't know how artists make money. They make it off views on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, MTV. Look at MTV for crying out loud. Hell, Adam Curry owns... Doesn't he own music television like the logo or the...
No, he owned the website originally.
Owned the website.
Like, he gave it to MTV because they didn't believe that it... Like, they were like, what do we need the web address for? We've got the AOL keywords.
Right.
Like...
Dipshits.
Yeah, you guys are real forward thinking over there.
I'll take that. That was his souvenir that he took from MTV. He didn't take the coffee cup or the pen holder. He took the .com.
Yeah.
When he left.
Well, technically he didn't, but it would have been funny.
Well,
10 years later to sell it back to him for $30 million.
No joke. I mean, that's the ultimate.
I love you, Janae.
Look, Lieutenant Dan, he's got magic legs. I was trying to tell somebody when I played football, wasn't good at reading plays or anything. And I would just, basically, I was Forrest Gump. And I grabbed the ball and I ran some more. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Like I just just run, Brett, run. That's what they would say. We just run. Am I doing it? I'll be just looking at the side like, is this right, coach? That's all I would do. Didn't read plays for shit. Just kind of made up my own way of doing it. And I just kept running. It's so funny. Oh, man. Oh, man. God bless him. Just bless his heart. Just bless his heart, that little son of a gun. You should have saw him. He just ran. You know, he just had a special strength. No, he had a special strength. Not special like that, but, you know, he wasn't real smart. You know, Mama said he was a light bulb. She didn't say how bright he was. Hell, $50. I think $50 might get you in. We're down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm hearing that the phones are ringing. I can hear the phones ringing. Just do the right thing here. Send in your $2,200.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Let's get it on.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Well, we're headed. No, stop. We're going back. We're going
Back in time.
Gotta get back in time.
You know, Eric Stoltz was originally Marty McFly.
Yes. Everybody knows that. Every nerd worth his salt.
But here's the thing. I'm watching a lot of videos of people that are 20 years younger than we are going, facts you didn't know about your favorite movies. They're like,
dude,
did you know? I'm like,
every single time you see any sort of post, any sort of video, what are you doing?
I just backed up.
Yeah. But anytime you see any of those videos that's about something from our childhood, be sure that you know everything about it.
We already know.
Yeah.
Thanks for the update, prick. go back to bed because you don't want to work anyway.
Yeah. I made this super relevant video. Like, no, you didn't.
Did you know the 1988 blah, blah, blah?
Anyway,
Okay, go.
3, 2, 1. I'm put my own twist on you.
I like that I do impressions that don't sound anything like the person.
It's mostly
way-
nuances.
That way people know that it's me.
Right.
Like, that's not an impression.
I'm not going to lose myself in someone else. All right. 3, 2, 1.